remove all 6 of your push clips that are holding the top of the bumper cover on. So with a trim tool, stick it underneath here, pop the center of it out. Once the center is popped out, you can remove the whole thing. And this one's different, but just go down the line and remove all of them. I have one missing here, but now the top of the bumper cover is free. Now on each side of your bumper cover, right where it meets the fender, you'll have a 10mm bolt. Go ahead and take that out. And then if you follow this down, you'll see a 7mm bolt right over here. Go ahead and remove this as well. Now you'll notice there are 3 push clips to be removed along the edge here. This is one of them. You'll need a fairly strong trim tool because they're tight in there. I'm going to use my cutters not to cut, but I'm going to use them because they grab onto these push clips better. And these are really tight in there. Last one is all the way down here. I'm going to use the cutter method again. Now from underneath the bumper you have some 7mm screws and push clips that go all along. We have to remove all of those. So I'm just going to start over here and work my way to the other side. Okay. At this point, with all the hardware removed, you can pull out on both sides, just like this. Don't go too far because it'll fall. Also, I should mention, if you happen to have fog lights, you would want to disconnect them at this point. My vehicle doesn't, so I don't have to worry about it. And then pull out the other side. Hold the bumper cover and pull it straight out. 2 7mm bolts up top is all that holds this headlight in. Remove them both. There's one on the fender. If you flip it over, or pull it out, I guess, you'll see the electrical connector here. There's just one main harness. Pull back on this locking tab, disconnect it. Here's your old assembly. Take your new assembly and go ahead and plug it in. Make sure the connector clicks so it's secured. The second thing I want to mention is this pin right here. It has to line up with the spot in the fender and it gets pressed in and locks in. And the last thing I want to mention before this goes on is this is your adjuster. So once the headlights are installed and you're ready to align them, this is where you would use your tool and line up the beam. All right, line everything up. Make sure that this goes underneath the fender. Line up that little tab. There it is. Okay, press it in. Yep, that's locked in. Let's put in the 2 screws on the top. There's one over here. Not going to tighten that one yet. I want to put this one in first, make sure that it's all situated properly. Snug them up. Let's get the bumper on. Okay, line it up, press it on. Pull the bumper in and press it into the slot underneath the fender here. Let's put some push clips in up top. Make sure you lock them in. Let's line up the 10mm bolt on the top here. $7mm screw on the side here. And 3 push clips. Now you do the same to the other side. Put all the screws in underneath on the splash shield. I'm going to start with the center one, that way it can be held up in place. One more screw all the way at the end here. And 2 push clips on each side. I'm missing this one over here, and then do the same to the other side.
This is going to be a general tutorial on how to aim your brand new TRQ headlamp assemblies. Okay, so looking at your brand new TRQ headlamp assembly, you're going to see where your low beam is, and you'll see a little dot right in the center. And that is the axis point, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to mark that with an erasable marker, just so it's easier to see. Next, what we need to do is measure from the level ground up to this point and take note of that measurement. Now we're just going to pull the car up to our wall. On our vehicle, we remember that the measurement was 28 inches for our access point. Your vehicle may be different, but that's where I'm going to put this tape, just above that 28 inches. We'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so let's just back the vehicle up, straight back 25 feet from the wall. And now that we moved our vehicle 25 feet back from the wall, we're going to start with our measurement here. That's where the headlamp center is. We're going to go down 4 inches on the driver's side. On the passenger side, we have our line here. What we need to do is go down 2 inches. To adjust the driver's side, we're going to cover our passenger side headlamp. If you look at the back side of your headlamp assembly, you're going to see something that looks like this. This is the adjustment. Some of these headlight assemblies have 1, 2, or even more of them, but you should at least have 1. This is how we're going to adjust the headlight beam. Now we're going to lower the top part of the beam down to just below this line. When you turn the adjustment to the right, it brings the beam up, and if you turn it to the left, it'll bring the headlight beam down. And this is this way on most vehicles. Let's continue on to doing the passenger side. All right, we properly aligned our TRQ headlamp assemblies. Okay, and on the quality TRQ headlamps for a pickup truck, the procedure is going to be the same. You're going to find your center dot, mark it, and then you'll measure from the level ground up to your dot. So once your headlamps are properly adjusted, it'll be time to adjust your fog lamps. You'll notice on the driver's side, the focal point is all the way at the bottom right now. I would like to bring it up so it meets up with approximately the bottom of the focal point of the headlight. Some fog lamps have an adjuster, others don't. The ones that do have an adjuster, you would just turn the adjustment to the left or to the right to adjust the beam up and down to where it needs to be. Now with your TRQ headlamps and fog lamps properly aligned, you can drive down the road safely.